Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about why you should believe in Santa Claus.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hello and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about why you should believe in Santa Claus. So I'm going to sit here and disclose, if there are little ones around, because I know some of my viewers listen with their kids. My viewers, I guess you guys are listeners. So you may not want your kids to hear this if they're under age 10. So I'll give you a pause now. All right, let's go. Now you're at your own risk. I warned you. Why should you believe in Santa Claus? Well, first of all, the reason I always come up with these ideas is I have an 8-year-old. And my 8-year-old, I like to believe he still believes in Santa Claus, but I also know he's pretty logical and inquisitive, and he's bright. And I know at that age, I didn't believe anymore, but I was hanging out for dear life knowing I'd get more presents. And I get a sense that he's kind of in that stage himself. And, you know, I don't know how to tell him or if to tell him, but I kind of think this year is his last year of believing in Santa Claus. But the cool thing is, next year he'll be 9 and his brother will be 3, and the magic starts all over again, where he gets to help with us and hide the presents and maybe even help us wrap the presents and kind of see what we did for him all these years, and get to empower his brother with the magic of Christmas and Santa Claus and cookies and chimneys and traveling around the world for the entire year. The reason you should empower your children to believe in this crazy being called Santa Claus, because as a child, listen to this, as a child, we believe that everything and anything is possible. And when we could dream like that at a young age, and we exercise that muscle of dreaming and imagination and kind of asking those kids those questions like, how do you think he does it? And they're just like, magic, Dad. And how do elves do it all year long? It's like, it's just magic. And they believe it, and it's magical. You know, I'll shift to a story when we first went to Disney World, and we were watching a show up on the castle. And there was some music song. There was a song where the lyrics were like, dream the biggest dreams. And I looked back at the crowd as we were up front, and I watched all these adults in amazement and like feeling good, because the lyrics were telling them that they could dream and they could be anything they wanted to be and all this stuff. And for whatever reason, the world and people stomp on this notion. Like, reality gives them a dose of something, and then they just don't believe anymore. And as a coach, I often say to myself, and I tell my clients down the road, all you really needed was somebody to believe in you. And another friend of mine who's a coach, but he's not a life coach, he says, you know, if I were ever to be a coach like you, I think I'd want to call myself a believability coach, because I think people just need to believe in themselves, or they need someone to believe in them. And I was like, there's a lot of truth to that. And as I was listening to an audio the other day, it said, you know, when someone is faced with a problem and you're challenged and you're trying to solve their problem, you don't look for solutions. You find out what their belief system is. And then you shift their mindset to believe what is possible based on where they are. And if you can shift their mindset to believe that they can do the things that you need them to do, and they can take those steps towards it, then their mindset has shifted and their actions become easy. So what I'm saying to you is the reason you should believe in Santa Claus is because if they can believe that, they can believe in anything. And I don't know jack about parenting, but I do know that children need to dream and exercise their ability to go way off in a distance for the impossible to be possible. Another thought that comes to my mind is when my son was real little and I used to say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he didn't know what the heck that meant, right? He didn't think in career or anything. He's like, I want to be a dinosaur. And I was like, yeah, what kind of dinosaur? He's like, I'm going to be a T-Rex, Dad. And I was like, you're going to be the best T-Rex you could possibly be. And he'd be like, yeah. And my wife would be like, why would you tell him that? I was like, what do you want him to be, a doctor, a lawyer? He's 3. He doesn't know what he wants to be. He wants to be a dinosaur. She's like, but that isn't possible. I was like, to you, in his mind right now, he could be a T-Rex. Let him be a T-Rex. And I think that imagination and that believability and they could do anything serves them so well going forward. And I always forget who said this, but there's a famous artist out there. Let's just say it's Van Gogh. I don't think it's Van Gogh, but there's a famous artist out there. And when he was in kindergarten, there was an assignment. The assignment was for him to tell the teacher what he wanted to be when he grew up. So he went home, he did his assignment, he came home, and she gave him back the paper, and she says, I think you misunderstood the assignment. He says, what do you mean? You asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said happy. She goes, no, I think you misunderstood the assignment. He goes, no, I think you misunderstand life. See, I want my kids to be happy. And I want them to dream big, and I want them to think outside the box, and I want them to be the amazing beings that they could possibly be. And I believe, this is my truth, hopefully, this resonates with you at some level, but I want them to believe that anything's possible, because anything is possible as long as they put their mind to it. And I think that all starts with them believing in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and the Bunny Rabbit and all those other fun things. So, there you have it. That's why you should believe in Santa Claus too, because he's magical. We'll see you in the next episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.